What's going on, YouTube? I know I haven't made a video in a few days because there's been so much going on. I haven't been able to actually process the videos because they're like a 2-hour video that my editing software on my phone it can't compute. It says it's like my ex-girlfriend can't compute. I can't make any rational sense of this. I must just get shut down and avoid you because I can't compute. I am cheating on you. Fuck. Stressful times, man. Honestly, though, like, the reason I pulled my phone on now to tell you this while I'm biking along is because there's so many updates. You're behind the times because I haven't told you. And there's a 2-hour video that I got to break up into pieces now and redo it and somehow put it out there and let you know what's going on. But fuck that. We'll get to that when I get to that. I just want to have the patience and the computer skills to cut it together on my phone into smaller pieces because right now I can't handle a big piece like that. So it's a technical problem as well as a heartbreak problem, as well as a life-changing problem. But pardon me. What's happening right now, currently, when you're missing the big crazy news, like the revelation crazy thing that's happened, I'll get to that. It's just gonna be a worthy story. I'll come to that. Like I said, the video is 2 hours long. I gotta cut it down. But right now, you know what? I'm just biking home from the gym, and I see people walking around holding hands. I see people holding hands. Like I felt this for a long time. Like even in like the spring, like April, May, June, I was walking around doing stuff, and I saw people holding hands, and I felt like a longing, like a sadness, because it's like I was missing my partner then, and she was my girlfriend, life partner, not even my girlfriend. Girlfriend's a weak term. A girlfriend means nothing. That's not even but a life partner is like a real commitment. So like in the spring, in like March, I didn't see her in 5 weeks. April, May, June, you know, I was like walking around going to do some fitness stuff at the park, and I saw people holding hands, and at like a beer garden or whatever it was, just had a regular park, and just different people. Everybody was with somebody, and I was alone. And she was at school, busy, can't ever see you, too busy, sorry, too busy. And I just was feeling like alone and missing and longing, and like kind of like, I know I'll see you sometime soon. I know you're busy all June with exams, and I know you didn't really stay around in April and May, and I didn't see you much at all in March. It's just like I've been feeling like kind of like neglected and alone, and I didn't know that you were lying and cheating on me. And I just trusted you. I just believed everything you said. And how I was feeling though was neglected and alone. And I was struggling with that by seeing people holding hands. I was like, I want that. I want just to go for a walk and a talk and hold hands with my partner at the park, or sit on a sunny beach or a parkside log and just have a conversation holding hands. It's just such a nice, simple gesture, you know? Holding hands and showing you love someone, walking around. It's just like a couple's thing to do, you know? You care, you walk, you share, you hold hands. And it's just like, it's kind of romantic. So, excuse me. Sorry, I'm like crying, and it's cold weather and my nose is running. It's kind of gross. It's like a Blair Witch moment. In that other video, I have a Blair Witch moment. My nose is running. It's so fucking gross. I know. Sorry. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, holding hands is a beautiful thing to see. To do. And then when you don't get it, when there's no one to hold your hand and you have no one's hand to hold, it's just so fucking sad. And I remember feeling sad, missing her when we were together. April, May, June, man, like, kind of like, well, I'll see you, yeah, I guess whenever the weekend is good for you, and whenever you can come by, and it'd be like shorter and shorter visits. like a couple hours even. Like, you gotta go again? I didn't know that was her being avoidant and obviously clearly involved with someone else now, even though she denies it still, because cheaters never admit. Like Shaggy says, got you banging on the counter, wasn't me. Got you on the camera, wasn't me. Like, wasn't me. My friend, this guy I know, told me, he's like, man, I've seen girls on YouTube, like the guy walks in on the girl, like cheating in a bed with another man, and then she blames him, says, well, you were never around. It's like, it's always the man's fault, no matter what. Just like my ex is blaming me for everything and not taking no responsibility for herself, being distant and cheating and lying. It's all my fault from 5 years ago. Okay, I take accountability for those stresses I had at that time, and I've changed my ways. And that was a long time ago, and you're picking like 4 or 3 random events over a course of 6 years as the problem now. That's just a way to scapegoat and shame me and blame me and play the victim. It's total nonsense. I can validate the feelings because I do agree. Oh, that was uncool of me, and I've also not done that in a long time. So how about that? And that was during the reasons for that was like, man, pandemic was stressful. Point is, when I see people like holding hands, I get like wicked sad and jealous. Like, not even jealous. So I'm like, not, no. Que me stinka. No, it's more like, just like a longing sadness that like, how nice that is. Like, do they know how nice that is? How lucky that is to like have someone to hold hands with and walk with and talk with and share with and make dinner with and prepare a meal with, and you know, like just like the things that are human where we feel connected and together. Because like what I'm feeling right now is so disconnected and so alone and so missing that, and it really makes me kind of like so mad in a also sad hurt way that she replaced every single aspect of me with a married man who is her professor. It's not natural that a student and a professor hang out after class. That's not a normal relationship. He's my teacher. We also play badminton together. He's my teacher. We also, I love his shuttlecock. He bashes it back and forth. And he's also my teacher, and also he gives me a rear naked choke in private jiu-jitsu classes. And he's not a jiu-jitsu instructor. He just likes to instruct her. And then he's also like really good at acro yoga. So I love when he lets me get on top of him and he like rides me up on his feet like a Superman, like a little girl. I feel so free. Like, what the fuck? That is not a natural evolutionary order to have your student do out of class things with your professor. That is so fucking wrong. That is not standard. And it is not standard to also be the TA and the two of you going out of town on all those trips together, lying about it. Well, there's lots of professors. There's like a couple of teachers and a couple of students going, and the story keeps changing on who went and when and where, and it was all lies. And the fact that she has like a badminton racket, and a fancy badminton racket and a badminton carry bag, and she said that some other Chinese lady just loaned it to her. Some Chinese lady just happened to have a bunch of extra rackets and said, here's a carrying bag and a racket. No way. I realize now that is the professor's gift to my ex, which is probably wasn't even purchased. It's probably his wife's badminton bag and racket that never gets used and is just sitting in the garage at his house. And he's like, fuck, I'll give this to my girlfriend's student. And my wife's never gonna fucking know or care because she's too busy not playing badminton, and I'll go play with my little fucking TA. So my ex has this fucking fancy racket and badminton bag that she told me some Chinese lady just loaned her. That's fucking baloney. No way. I see now that he gave that to her. So what I'm driving at with this hand-holding thing is that she replaced every single bit of a relationship that you do with somebody, like holding hands, from sex to holding hands to texting to how are you to what is your day happening, what's going on with your life goals and dreams, to what does it mean, to traveling together, to every little, like just the small things, like making dinner and having a walk and a talk and all those things. She replaced me with him on all those things. And that's like, okay, the life goals and dreams because a career means is actually more understandable. Because like, oh, well, he's a mentor in the position that she wants, and therefore he can deliver on how to copycat the same system and she can get it. That's actually more believable than our wicked sex life. Like, whoa. There's no way our 12-hour sex life would be beat by a fucking dorky dad who's a professor he doesn't have the time to deliver on that. But okay, replace me on that. So take the big things like career and sex, and then think about the other big things like marriage and children. Well, he's already married with children, so how's he gonna replace you and me in that? Okay, take the small things like holding hands. Man, that fucking stings. The holding hand things fucking stings as bad as any other one does. Almost like even more. Kissing and telling your dreams to them and what does it mean and your hopes and your loves and your fears and all those things. Yeah, that hurts. But like the snuggling in bed, the being cute, the little cute things that they do, like little like jokes or sound effects or the way you dance and wiggle. But holding fucking hands might be the fucking hardest one right now to accept for me. Because you're gonna go out of town with him to fucking India on a 20-hour plane ride. You're not gonna hold hands? Yeah, fucking right you are. You're fucking holding hands in India. You're fucking going to 5-day trip vacation and you got 3 days of working. You're fucking holding hands. On the airplane, I thought you were rubbing shoulders. No, you're doing that in the hotel room after. Give me a rub down, baby. And you're fucking holding, oh fuck, that light is bright. Hands. You're holding fucking hands, and it fucking pisses me off. And it's so insulting. It's so fucking insulting. It's so fucking insulting. Oh, this light is just torture. No wonder people can't see anything. Jesus, fuck. Okay. Yeah, the holding hands thing, man. Just fucking crushes me. As if you're gonna go to India and be on 5-day vacation together and then have 3-day working. You're gonna go to the temple and you're gonna get in tuk-tuks and you're gonna go to dinner. And so you're not making dinner at your house because she still lives with her mom, and so they're not gonna come over to her mom's house to make dinner. But making dinner was not an issue because they would go out for dinner. See, instead of making dinner at home, which I prefer and she apparently preferred. Why would they do that? Now they can go to India and have dinner at restaurants, or they can go in Vancouver, I guess, around here, and they can have a getaway after class and get out for dinner. So instead of having dinner at home, they can escape their wife and her mom and me, and they can go for dinner out for dinner. Okay, that hurts. And in India, they can go for dinner and be like, wow, traveling and getting all this stuff. But the fucking holding hands that you would probably do when you're sharing a tuk-tuk, going to tourist sites, checking out a temple. You're fucking holding hands. On a 20-hour flight, you're fucking holding hands. You're fucking and you're holding hands. It's just, I mean, I'm already tortured by the thoughts of them fucking. That's already causing me ED. I mean, kind of is. I'm not that I've got anybody to use the D with, but it's like I'm broken in my heart and mind and wherever else because I'm so turned off by the concept and so tortured by the concept of them doing it. Like, it's just a fucking horrific image and it's fucking torturing me. Even though I know that she's a liar and a cheater and deceived me and betrayed me and is a narcissistic avoidant and was hiding this for many years. And the reason she could hide it for many years is because she was in school and she used school as a deflection defender stonewall to always say she's busy. If she had not been in school, I would have found out about this earlier. If she had had an apartment and we could have come to her house more often and been more like 50-50 or like shared a space, you know, she could have moved in here, whatever it was. If we'd had more closeness, which she was kind of keeping me separate from, then I would have found out about this earlier. Her mask would have been revealed earlier. But when I saw her recently, like a week ago, I said, I don't trust you anymore. So the circle of trust is broken. I don't trust you at all. And I'm sure that scared her. It should, because you're not at all who I thought you were now. Suddenly, you're someone completely different, and you were wearing a fucking mask this whole fucking time. And you didn't even know you're doing it. They don't even know they're doing it. They're just these, like, reptile souls who don't know what they're doing. They lack empathy. They fake feelings. They play in the game of love and love bombing and flirtation, and then it's all about manipulation and what can they get when they need it, when they want it, and it's very, 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 very sick. It's a sick person. So, I mean, I think I didn't tell you that, but my dog that did die, I got after my partner left me 9 weeks ago. I was beside myself, and for 3 days I couldn't even stop crying. I was a disaster. And there's videos of that. I know on this channel. And then I got this dog, and the dog was named Darlene. I named it after my ex, who I also called Darlene, and I thought that'd be a good way to transfer my love and heal myself. And 8 days later, the dog, died of a very rare disease. That the dog came with this disease that we didn't know the dog had when I got the dog. And so, red light warning. So my partner also, my ex-partner, also came with a disease I didn't know she had before I met her. And when I was with her, I didn't know she was also very sick. Just like the dog. They're both very, very sick with a rare disease that you can't see when you get them. And you just love them, and they love you, and you feel like it's real and true. And then you find out through turn into twisted events that they're very, very sick and they need help. And the vet couldn't help the dog, and I couldn't help my ex. And they are beyond reparations or reparations. There's nothing that you can do to save these people. The dog was beyond saving it completely, and my ex, I tried to save us. I tried to save her, but she's a sick person. I didn't know how sick she really was until like this week when I had all these realizations, which I'll get to in the coming video. The details I'll show you and express to you and share with you and give you examples of. And I've got some recordings you're gonna be like, what the fuck? She's a sick individual. I didn't know. Her mind is so tortured and her emotional state is so fucking shattered, and she wants to blame it on me, but this happened way before me. I didn't make her a narcissist. I didn't make her an avoidant. She was raised in a family of secret spies who were not there for her and treated her to self-soothe and to be self-independent and self-reliant and not confront her emotions other than block her emotions and have no emotions. It sounds cool in a movie, like James Bond, fucking cool, right? Jason Bourne, cool. Jason Statham, just in life, cool. In all those movies, same cool guy, like hard emotion. Yeah, all right, babe. I'll give you a quick one and then I gotta go. With James Bond, same thing, like, oh, hello, honey pounder. Give you a bit of love for a moment, and then that's love on the run. Everyone thinks it's so sexy and cool. I'll go kill the bad guys. But in reality, there's no bad guys to go. Well, her parents were secret spies, okay? So they actually were, one was a field agent, one was a local agent. So the field agent would be the dad who was never around. So girls with daddy issues, whoa, red flag. Red flag. Girls with daddy issues, I swear, red fucking flag. And so if their dad is not there, and I look at all three of my major relationships, 9 year, 7 year, 6 year. The 9 year and 7 year, I was young, I was dumb, I shouldn't have studied them that long, I should have stayed in them for a ninth and a seventh the fraction of that. I should have known to pull out. I should have known to like leave that relationship sooner. I didn't have the skills to know better. But all three relationships had a drunk, abusive father who was divorced, had a trucker dad who was totally fat and had no health respect, and also a trucker's on the road most of the time and never around. And then the most recent one, how cool, they're a family together. There's still four of them, mother, father, brother, living in the same house together. Turned out though, robot. And the parents, as a young girl, as a baby, well, the dad's a field agent. He's literally James Bond. And the mom is, that means daddy wasn't there. And that means mom says, I am an emotional robot too, and I don't have time to deal with crying babies, so deal with yourself. By the time your brother is born, the dad was not even in the country when the brother was born. And so, you're 3 years old and now you got a brother, and now there's no more time for you. I mean, so be resilient, and then be kind of a tough tomboy because dad wasn't around. And then that makes you kind of like strong, a little bit masculine, tough, muscular, and heroic leader. However, red flag when there's no dad. Red flag with daddy issues. Because when her dad died, she transferred all that trauma to me and called me, you're never there, you never listened, you never cared. I was like, what are you fucking talking about? I care more than anybody you're ever gonna know. The fact that you're pushing me away means you're uncomfortable with someone that cares for you. You have comfort, commitment, and conflict problems, and there's no commitment or a closeness, then there's going to be conflict as to why is there no commitment and closeness. That creates conflict. And so those three things you're afraid of. And so whenever I wanted more of these things, like commitment and closeness, then you would push away, and that would create conflict, and that's never going to be a caring, compassion relationship. And then you would somehow make up old ideas as if that's the reason now for you wanting to leave me. Really, you transferred your dad's trauma on me, saying I never listened and I avoided you. It's like, what? You literally avoided me. It's like, these are sick people. These people that didn't have two quality parents there for them all the time to care for them and to help them have a balanced, secure upbringing in emotional regulation. And the dismissive avoidant with narcissistic personalities, I didn't know that. And it makes sense that's who she's fallen for. Egomaniac, narcissistic professor who's hiding his truth from his wife, children, colleagues, school, work, life, and having illegal, totally disgusting relationships with your students, leading her on, promising her things that you're never going to be able to deliver on, and her falling stupidly for that. But it's the fucking holding hands that makes me just fucking red in the face, because it's such a simple, cute thing to do with someone. That's just like, it's so hard to get that, and it symbolizes so much. And you could replace the career goal visions, the marriage, the fucking dinner, the baby carriage, the home, the car, the trips, the promises, the locking lips, the sexual intercourse, whatever. That's a terrible description of having, I guess that's the true term of it. All those things. The dinner out, the things, the connection, the contact. But the holding hands, you replaced me in all the things that relationships have. You replaced all the closeness we have for what? You guys hold hands when you go on an airplane 5 times a year? I hope you feel, I know it's mean to say this, but I hope you don't get what you need out of it. I don't care. Oh, I'm supposed to say I love you and allow you to live on and hope you have a great life. I don't. That's, maybe I'll come into that later in months and months and months and years from now. But right now I'm feeling very hurt and betrayed and, discarded and treated like a piece of garbage. When I actually was willing to work on any of the qualities or conditions or concerns that you had, and to do it in an amicable, loving, kind, caring, building way. And it was never enough for you. You invented old issues from years ago, saying that's the reason it was that thing. I'm like, that one argument from 5 years ago is why you're leaving now? No, it's why you're leaving now is because for the past year and a half or 2 years, you've developed an infatuation with your professor, and he snaked into your mind and your life, and you liked it, and you protected him years ago during a photo shoot. And I asked, why is he naked in this photo shoot? Like, why is his clothes off and yours clothes are off, and you're supposed to be the model, but why is he in the photo shoot behind you, standing in a humping position? Oh, he photoshopped that. That was the first lie. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? The first lie that you lied to me, and you protected him over me. And then my mistake for not fucking protecting my territory more deeply, because I wanted to trust you, and I did, stupidly. But if I had been more, like, I don't know, suspicious, or if maybe she'd been less distant, and she kept trying to create this distance between us. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of it. Just like, okay, I'm allowing of it, because she'd guilt me, shame me, blame me. Well, I need to do more stuff for school. I need to do more things. You don't understand. I'm so busy about... Okay, she'd literally put the pressure on for needing more time to study, more time for working, more time. I must get up at 4 a.m. and go to bed at 9, and I don't have any time for this until maybe the weekend after, and it's only for one day. It's like, okay. I just figured that was what med school was. I also didn't figure that med school was fucking your professor! Or holding his hand when you go on an airplane, or when you guys go on tourist dates together, working tourist dates. Let's hold hands. How sweet, darling. Oh my God, let's get heart-shaped waffles in Japan, because Japan is known for its waffles. It's a Belgian delicacy. You don't even like waffles, but he does. And he's thinking, let's get heart-shaped ones, because, darling, my wife is at home, but I love you, and I want to signify my love, not with a beautiful marriage or a ring or promises of anything, but I like some sweet carbs, and they're heart-shaped, and I want to tell you I love you. I love you too, teacher. I love you too, student. And fuck my stupid wife and children back at home. They will never know. Yeah, fuck my partner back at home also. He'll never know. They're so dumb. We are so Machiavellian, narcissistic, avoidant, evil people, and we get to have sex with one another on the road and totally fuck over our wife and children, and that fucking guy on YouTube that we don't even know he's got a channel about us, but he does. It's not about them, it's about my healing. They're just featured people in it. Well, this began with me trying to bike home and say that you guys are behind in what's happening in my life, and how I find when I see people holding hands, it makes me very sad. It's just such a small thing, but it means so much. That simple hand, fingers, locking touch, walking in the same direction together, locking, knowing we're sharing something and we're caring for each other. It's a beautiful, tragic thing to not have, to not hold, but to see and to know that you had it. And then they just like let you go.